Hi, it's Darius, and in this short 5-minute video, we're going to be talking about past life regression. This is part 2 of 2 parts, and if you are enjoying this topic or you want to hear my first past life regression story, I'll put a link down below, and you'll also be able to watch that video right after this one. I'll have it pop up probably right around here, I think. What we're talking about here is past life regression, what it is, and some of my experiences, and why you may want to use it. And so my second past life experience was in the same session that I talked about in the earlier video, and I was trying to work through some deep unresolved emotional pain, some challenges around relationship, and some challenges around abundance. I'm trying to tie them together. So as I was in this hypnosis conference and I became a hypnotist myself, as I shared, I had a second experience, and here's the second experience. While I was in a hypnotic state, the hypnotist took me to another lifetime where I had the same trauma and the same karma that I had not worked through. And in this experience, it was in the mid to late 1800s in Virginia, in a large city, and I was a homeless person. I was living homeless, and I was very small in stature. The thing that I remember was literally walking through the city streets and being very small on a winter's day, and the people in the Victorian garb, the men with the top hats and the gloves, and the women in the big dresses and the beautiful, like the beautiful collar dresses, and the men were holding the women like this, in their with their elbows and guiding them down the street, and they were looking down at me. And I remember the wagon wheels coming down, and the wagon wheels being like almost the size of my head. Now these are about 3 to 4 feet high. So I was a very small person, and I was homeless. I was not a child. I was almost like a dwarf. And I remember being very alone and very sad and very cold. And that was sort of my life experience. And then she took me to the moment where I passed, and I was shivering in an alley, cold, on some damp like news sheets and some very modicum amount of warmth. And then she took me to the moment of my passing. And again, as I shared in the first video, which you'll find down here in a moment, when I passed, I went from this very isolated, cold, scared, brokenhearted consciousness, fragmented, to just this infinite bliss. And I was expanded in all directions. I was full of love. I could feel the love. I could feel the oneness, the lack of polarity that we talk about, the third dimension having this polar energy, everything being one, being infinite, being love, feeling God, feeling source, feeling all the love of my family or anybody that I'd ever loved. All of it was within me, but there was no me. Now I was everything. And this is a hard thing for people to understand unless you've had these kind of experiences, that in the higher dimensional space, you are not you, but the essential elements of what you are in your finest moments, the parts of you that you cling to in this life reality, that there's like good in you, there's a part of you that maybe can do anything. Maybe you felt it when you were a child, maybe you lost it, but when you have an experience like that and you go to the other side and you remember that, that's who you are essentially at all levels. Like you are that person 100%. So it is real. I'll probably do another video on this whole topic. But so I experienced that, and then I found the lesson in those lifetimes, and that was very healing for me, because as I came into this lifetime, I could see there were many of the threads where I was repeating the same patterns. I was afraid to have abundance. I was afraid not to. I was afraid to have relationships. So it was very healing for me. So why should you have a past life regression? Well, you don't actually want to go into it saying, I want a past life regression. What you want to do is you want to go into it and get to the root of whatever is affecting you. As I was taught hypnosis by Gerald Kine, most of the time, if you go into I want to have a past life regression, usually it's not going to be real, to be honest with you. But if you have a trauma, an issue, and you go down to the root of that, and it takes you to another life or to another existence or another time, the hypnotist will just go there, and you want to work with what you have. And that's when it becomes therapeutic, is that you end up in some other time, some other reality, some other remembrance. Now, is that my past life? Well, I'm not sure. Is it a collective energy or memory that maybe my consciousness is tapped into, plugged into like a USB cable on another periphery or another hard drive? And is that maybe still affecting my energy now? It's possible. So whatever it is, you go there. And so should you do it? Yeah, you should. But it should be something that if it springs out of normal work, if it springs out of some healing work you're doing, it's a good thing. And I guess the last thing I'd say about past life regression is it's pretty amazing also to go into the experience of between lives, because then you can see where you are and you can understand a little bit more of your soul journey and what it's like to be on the other side. Because if you just go into the past life, that's great. But where you get the wisdom is after you pass. Because after you pass, you're out of polarity. And it could be moments after you pass if the hypnotist decides to do that. Or it could be, during a life review. You can also take the person to that phase of the soul journey. And we can talk about that in a later video. But that is where you're going to get the perspective. And that's where the perspective from the soul level will come into you. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to post, I believe, the part 1 down here. You're hearing my first past life regression story. And also, if you like this video, you want to subscribe, click like. And we also have live daily energy calls happening Monday through Thursday. You'll see a short little snippet about that. And we've got a free energy gift for you down below. Much love, and thanks for watching this video. And enjoy your past life regression if you decide to do it. Hi, this is Darius Barazandeh, and if you'd like more of this type of content and live daily energy help, we have Monday through Thursday live daily energy calls with some of the world's greatest healers, teachers, and masters, where they will read your energy, answer your questions, and even provide deep one-on-one clearing help. And every day there's a brand new soul healing activation. You can find it all. It's 100% free. It's something we do for the planet, and it is the first link in the description. So join our live calls. They are amazing.